must-have tools for every beginner embroidery artist. And stick around to find number 6, bonus tool. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you need, embroidery hoops. They come in so many different sizes. You can get these wood ones or they come in plastic. They've got squares. They come in all shapes and sizes, but it's important to know that you're using the right hoop for the right project. Little project, little hoop. Big project, big hoop. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. If your work surface is big, use a big one. If your work surface is small, grab a small hoop. The next thing you're gonna wanna have in your arsenal is pens and pencils. So they have really amazing custom fabric pens and pencils that will erase with either heat or water. So it's super, super helpful to draw and sketch on whatever your design is ahead of time, which I highly recommend than just trying to just go for it. Sketch out your pattern on your fabric with a pen or a pencil first, and then when you're all done with your project, all you do is take a little hot iron over it and it erases all of your marks. Or you can throw it in the wash or some warm water and it'll erase everything there too. It's like magic. So another thing you need, obviously, are needles. There are so many varieties of needles, and mine are dropping out like flies. So this is actually a little set that I got from my grandma, like super vintage, like legitimately vintage needles that I'm still using to this day. They're so great and helpful.
Hey honey, those might be worth money.
Shoot, should we have like eBay these? I mean, too bad, I love them, they're mine. So obviously you need needles to embroidery. This part is not rocket science to get started. Grab your embroidery needles and string some floss through it and you are good to go. There are so many different needle options for very specific embroidery out there, but for just starting out, not that big of a deal. Don't stress out about it. Just get a needle that has a little eye in it that you can thread some embroidery floss in and you're good to go. Oh look, I even like ripped off a piece of my very expensive vintage needle book. Don't tell my husband. One thing that I absolutely think is a must-have for all embroidery artists or anybody doing any needle and thread work is needle threaders. These are really, really basic tools. I think I got about 50 of these for like $1.30 or something on Amazon. So cheap, and there's literally no excuse to have them. They are really, really flimsy though, and they break really easy. So buy the pack of 50, and you know if you break them, you're like, whatever, I just lost 5 cents, who cares, toss it. But this will save you so much headache and tears when you're trying to thread your needles. You just slide this through, wrap your thread around it, pull it through. Easy peasy needle threading, must have. So what do you do with your thread when you're all done and have it needled through? You snip it with your scissors. Kind of a no-brainer, but when you must have tool for embroidery, a little fine tip snip scissors works so great and fantastic for just snipping off those edges or snipping off thread or whatever you need, cleaning up your back, tidying them up. Fine tip snips, perfect, you need them. I specifically like these ones for the spring. I feel like I have more control over pressure and I'm in a groove. These give you a little bit more flexibility and are better on your hand muscles. So, thanks for making it this far, and let's get to that bonus tool. Once you get into embroidery, these embroidery hoop stands are game changers. So, how many hot times have you been just holding it and threading it, holding it and threading it, and you do a stitch and you're like, I really just need one more hand. And you're stuck, you're like putting it on your lap, whatever. So this thing is amazing. This was on Amazon, it was like super cheap. I have seen very expensive ones out there, but until you're like level 800,000 amazing embroidering artist that needs the $500 embroidery hoop holder, buy the cheap one, because when you have so many hobbies, who can afford all the fancy expensive things? So all this works so easy. You just clamp your hoop in just like this, and now you have a workable space, hands-free, to just grab your needle from the bottom and do all your special fit stitches, two-handed. It's also super great because you can adjust this up and down. And then you could stick this underneath your legs and have it under your lap for it's just like a lap side embroidery hoop. Super handy. I highly suggest getting one of these. They collapse really easy and small and kind of a no-brainer. So, links below to all of these materials in the description, and be sure to like and share and let me know, did I miss some standard embroidery tool that you need? Let me know in the comments below because I want to know. Plus, I'm sure everybody else watching wants to know more too, because why else are you here but to learn about the basics of embroidery, because embroidery is fun and pretty and super fun. So thanks guys, we will see you next time.